Welcome to Whispers to a Bride, where we talk about the stuff no one else is talking about. We are going deep on the emotional aspects of getting married, the stress, drama, and turbulence that affects your own sense of identity and your closest relationships. We are talking about what it means to be a bride and how to navigate this sacred time with more grace and ease. I'm your host, Kara Gassabay. As a life coach and therapist, I'm going to be sharing super practical tips so that you can not only rise to the occasion of your wedding, but also your life. Hello, hello. Welcome back. I am here with a very sort of bummer of an issue, but one that I feel like such a quick response to. So this episode is My Mom Hates My Dress. And it came from, I think, an Instagram question. And it's just one of those things, again, happens so much more than people like to talk about. Obviously, I've talked about it before. Say Yes to the Dress would not be on for like 15 or something years at this point if this issue of mothers and daughters and dresses wasn't such a thing, right? It is the culmination of just so many things, from money, body, parenting, projection, past, present, identity, separation, living vicariously. Like, so much goes on with mothers and daughters and dress shopping. It's just a lot. And so to have somebody write in and say my mom doesn't like she doesn't like my wedding dress it's just such a poignant moment, because it means so much more than the dress in so many situations. Or at least it feels like it requires such a bigger lift emotionally to get over than other just little disagreements or times you didn't see eye to eye with your mom, whether this happens and you always sort of got the approval of your mom. So this is like this big moment where it's like, oh gosh. Or whether you guys she always disapproves of you and you were just holding out for this one day that this would be the time that she didn't disapprove of you. And you had just made it in your mind that this was going to be a moment where everything was different because of the wedding, sort of gauzy wedding filter that we had been imagining was going to be there. And then the harsh reality of life is that, like, when we show up to our wedding planning life, it's the people are still people and dynamics are still there, and the hard things are actually harder instead of non-existent. But again, there's so much to say on it, but I really want to be just like super, super brief and offer a line from someone else to give you to chew on. And this is just really what comes to mind in this moment when I read this question. I was immediately reminded of a line that I had heard from Glennon Doyle. Lover or hater, there's a lot, I think, of opinions about her, but I always just say, let's take what works and leave what doesn't. I think she does have a lot of value to offer while being an imperfect human like we all are. But she says, every time you're given a choice between disappointing someone else and disappointing yourself, your duty is to disappoint that someone else. Your job throughout your entire life is to disappoint as many people as it takes to avoid disappointing yourself. And that's the thing. It's really, really a huge bummer if your mother doesn't like your wedding dress, but the bigger bummer is if you don't. And if you are one of my people pleasers, because I tend to attract lots of people pleasers, maybe because I've got that tendency. This is like a really, really hard thing. It's a really hard thing. And I feel like a lot of my advice is about finding that third way where everyone's happy and we can be copacetic and we can make peace and we can make everybody happy and kumbaya. But then there's times where you decide to choose you and stand for yourself. And I think the dress is often one of those times because it is so tied to your individuality, your independence, your sense of self, your identity, your body. Like, it's just one of those times where I really, really encourage you to choose yourself and allow the disappointment in your other person, even the person that you love the most, even if you're super close to your mom, allow her to hold the disappointment on this one, because she can and she will, and it will be fine. But this is one of those times that I really, really want you to choose you. And think about, too, how many other times in your life have you disappointed yourself because you're like, oh, I can take it. I don't want to disappoint this other person. And how that has fueled a whole life of people pleasing that is inevitably going to come back to haunt you. And I think as women, this is one of these things that like we are so conditioned to be caretakers and to help and to seek to facilitate other people's happiness and success. And that's all great and it's wonderful, but like it comes at a cost. And it's so important to always put yourself back into the center of your own life and choose you. So for the dress, you can have the dress of your dreams and a disappointed mother and still have a wonderful wedding. And I just think it's funny how the wedding kind of gives us these really confronting moments, but I think leaning into them and taking the lessons and going through the emotional drama of it all and doing something different, because that's what your wedding is asking you to do. That's what this dress is asking you to do. The price is high. The stakes are high. The photography's there. It's your wedding dress. It's your chance to choose you and to let people around you be disappointed. And that is something that is going to happen in your life. It's happened before. It's going to keep happening the more you honor yourself. I just think you're going to be so proud of yourself and start to create this way of operating that you will never regret choosing yourself. And so, yeah, I don't want to go on and on because I really just want you to sit with that. When you're given a choice between disappointing someone else and disappointing yourself, your job is to disappoint that other person, even when it's your mom. So hope that helps if you are having any kind of drama as you're planning your wedding, but especially that dress one that often is just really, really intense. So if you need me, you know where to find me. Book your session, KaraMaureen.com. Cannot wait to talk to you. And in the meantime, find me on TikTok and Instagram. I'm there waiting for your questions, opening the conversation. Love to hear how you are thinking about this stuff and the questions you have, the ways that I can support you more. Until next time, I am wishing you nothing but